The crowd roars beneath the pulsing rhythm of entrance music as the cameras follow a fighter stepping forward with deliberate confidence. The lights shimmer across the canvas while an opponent attempts to stay calm, knowing what will inside. Every blow precise, and every reaction from the audience confirms the truth. The world has learned to fear and respect the fighter widely known as the Monster. His combination of blistering speed, lethal timing, and explosive knockout power has made him not only one of the greatest fighters in the modern era, but also one of the most devastating finishers boxing has ever seen. When he throws a shot, it arrives with terrifying accuracy. Fighters collapse from counters they never saw coming, retreat under his pressure, and fold when his left hook finds their liver. He forces even the most durable opponents to crumble, and his aura has grown to the point where many believe he could retire today and still be remembered as one of the sport's most remarkable champions. But now he stands on the brink of a new challenge, facing a threat unlike any he has encountered before. This isn't just another contender with confidence. This is a young, undefeated fighter who is taller, naturally bigger, and full of the kind of ambition that can inspire boldness even in the shadow of greatness. Many in the boxing world claim this opponent has the tools to give Inoue serious problems. If Inoue wins, as analysts expect, he will defend his Ring Magazine championship on December 27th against the rising Mexican star David Picasso. Picasso is a fighter with an exciting style, a sense of rhythm in his punches, and a destructive left hook that has left many opponents unable to continue. Some who have studied him admire his creativity in the ring. They note his ability to adapt and how his sense of timing appears far more advanced than that of most fighters his age. Even seasoned boxing observers admit that this upcoming matchup will not be the easy assignment many have assumed for Inoue. Picasso serves as the mandatory challenger, the last man standing from a long line of contenders, and has accumulated 31 wins by the age of 24. Standing at 5'8" with long arms and a disciplined style, he represents the proud Mexican tradition of heart, precision, and ferocity. Mexico has birthed champions who are not deterred by pain, pressure, or adversity, and Picasso seems to embody that heritage. His supporters claim he possesses everything necessary to threaten Inoue, including poise under fire, intelligent footwork, and the stamina of a fighter who has learned to thrive in grueling environments. To understand why Picasso has become such an intriguing challenger, one must look back at a pivotal moment in his development. It was July 15, 2023, in front of a sold-out arena in Mexico. Picasso, only 22 at the time, stepped into the ring against Sabelo Nyabinanda. The fight was expected to be competitive, but Picasso used the opportunity to show the world that he was far more than a prospect with potential. From the opening exchanges, he appeared in total control, landing crisp punches as he maneuvered around his opponent's attempts to pressure him. His timing was sharp, his defense fluid, and his courage unmistakable. Despite being young, he willingly traded in the pocket, testing his chin and daring his opponent to match his intensity. This mutual agreement to engage in a war of attrition created a contest filled with violent exchanges and dangerous moments. Yet Picasso welcomed these situations, revealing a toughness that likely comes from his upbringing in Mexico City's unforgiving boxing culture. It did not take long for Picasso's strategic brilliance to emerge. By the second round, he began focusing heavily on the body, throwing hooks and straight right hands that thudded loudly through the arena, each shot chipping away at his opponent's resistance. His punches were placed with accuracy and determination. With each exchange, the tide shifted, and Nyabinanda's confidence began to erode. Picasso's body shots, especially his left hook to the liver, caused visible discomfort. The rhythm of the fight became almost musical, the Mexican crowd reacting to each resounding blow. By the third round, Picasso unleashed combinations that nearly sent Nyabinanda into what commentators jokingly referred to as the shadow realm. His power was evident, but so was his craft. Eventually, Nyabinanda's corner realized their fighter could no longer continue. They threw in the towel halfway through the bout, unable to watch him take further punishment. With that victory, Picasso secured the WBC Silver Super Bantamweight title. His post-fight words reflected both humility and ambition. "I have many dreams, and today we achieved one of those," he said. He had risen from prospect to legitimate threat. Now 25 and still undefeated, Picasso is known not as a padded record holder built merely to be sacrificed to bigger names, but as a genuine talent groomed patiently and strategically for years. His promoters and trainers have shaped him with the goal of reaching a world title. To reach that dream, however, he must now conquer a fighter many believe is the most dangerous man in boxing. Naoya Inoue's reputation is not built on hype, but on a long list of stunning achievements. Fighters fear him. Trainers study him with awe. Analysts call him one of the most technically perfect punchers alive. He strikes with the precision of a surgeon and the violence of a knockout artist. Once an opponent signs to face him, they understand they are entering a contest where a single mistake could end the night immediately. Inoue will stalk them from the first second, weaving forward with subtle footwork, cutting off angles, and forcing them into positions where escape becomes impossible. His combinations burst out with such speed that even high-level fighters struggle to defend them. He is relentless, intelligent, and disciplined. His discipline, especially, sets him apart. He does not throw recklessly. He picks shots with care, understanding exactly when and where each punch will inflict the most damage. To appreciate how Inoue forged his reputation, one must revisit his early days. Before becoming an international star, he destroyed opponents in Japan and then traveled to the United States to expand his legacy. One of his early American opponents was Antonio Neaves, a respected fighter who believed he could spoil Inoue's rise. Neaves entered the ring with confidence and even managed to land a few sharp counters, attempting to keep Inoue at bay. But Inoue's ability to adapt and control distance quickly overwhelmed him. His jab in particular became a weapon that dictated the pace of the fight. It was not a simple range-finding jab, but a thudding, authoritative strike that disrupted Neaves constantly. Boxing analysts praised Inoue's jab, noting that according to statistical analysis, he landed more per round than nearly any fighter in the world at that time. As the fight progressed, Inoue's attack diversified. He began landing uppercuts, looping right hands, and vicious hooks to the body. His ability to adjust mid-punch, altering trajectory to land around or through the guard, astonished commentators. Neaves, despite his heart, found himself retreating, unable to keep pace with Inoue's timing and ferocity. In the fifth round, Inoue unleashed a series of crushing left hooks to the body. The effect was immediate and devastating. Neaves collapsed, and although he rose, his corner would not allow him to continue. They knew he could no longer withstand the punishment. Inoue's victory that night cemented his reputation in America and proved that he was not merely a hype-driven fighter but a generational talent. The years that followed only elevated Inoue further. By 2025, he had conquered multiple divisions, defeated elite champions, and unified world titles. He delivered destructive knockouts against fighters like Kim Gajuan and Ramon Cardenas. His victory over Murajan Akhmadaliyev, a disciplined and highly respected champion, highlighted not only his technical superiority but also his ability to neutralize world-class opponents with calm expertise. His fight schedule has been remarkably active in an era where champions often take long breaks between matches. 4 fights in a year is nearly unheard of, yet Inoue pushed himself through each challenge with the drive of someone who seeks greatness rather than comfort. Only Canelo Alvarez in recent memory has pursued undisputed defenses with similar frequency. With that context, the upcoming match between Inoue and Picasso has gained massive anticipation. Picasso brings youth, hunger, and a style that many find intriguing. He has height and reach advantages, he is a natural super bantamweight, and he possesses excellent body punching of his own. Supporters argue that Picasso's best chance is to test Inoue with intelligent pressure, targeting his body early, and using his longer frame to keep the fight at mid-range where he can mix jabs with hooks. They believe Picasso's Mexican heritage, with its emphasis on toughness, volume, and heart, could allow him to absorb punishment long enough to find openings. Still, Skeptics argue that Picasso has yet to face an opponent anywhere near Inoue's caliber. The Japanese champion's combination of speed, power, angles, and technique is unique. He hits with force that surprises even professional fighters. His body shots are known to end fights instantly. Opponents often appear composed seconds before collapsing, their internal systems compromised by strikes they could not brace for. This type of punching power is rare, and it is partly why Inoue has developed a reputation for finishing fights early and violently. Picasso, despite his talent, may struggle against the sheer sharpness of Inoue's offense. As the fight approaches, boxing communities worldwide continue debating the outcome. Some believe Picasso will rise to the occasion and shock the world with an upset. They point to his undefeated record, his youth, and his belief in himself as reasons he cannot be counted out. Others believe Inoue's experience against top-tier opposition gives him a decisive advantage. Picasso's willingness to engage in close-range exchanges could play directly into Inoue's strengths, and if he stands in mid-range too long, he risks being caught by the kind of punch that ends fights suddenly. What makes the matchup especially compelling is that both men approach boxing with an artistic mindset. Picasso's name itself evokes creativity, and he often describes his fighting style as something crafted through rhythm, balance, and instinct. Inoue, on the other hand, constructs his combinations with near-perfect calculation. Every shot he throws has a purpose. Every moment in the ring is part of a larger design. Their meeting will not simply be a clash of physicality, but of philosophies. The anticipation grows each day. The world knows that when the opening bell rings, neither fighter will hold back. Inoue will look to establish dominance early, using his jab and footwork to push Picasso into defensive positions. Picasso will attempt to disrupt Inoue's rhythm, perhaps by going to the body or by maintaining enough distance to prevent Inoue from stepping into his power. The fight could end suddenly, with a single shot changing everything. Or it could evolve into a war of attrition, with each fighter forced to dig deeper than ever before. When the dust settles, only one man will remain undefeated. The other will walk away with hard lessons, perhaps a new sense of direction, but certainly with the understanding that facing a fighter like Inoue or Picasso is transformative in itself. Fans worldwide prepare for the spectacle, knowing full well that matches like these define eras. Greatness meets aspiration. Legend meets challenger. Power meets ambition. And when the final punch lands, the boxing world will witness the next chapter in a story that continues to unfold with every heartbeat and every thundering blow.